What up YouTube, we are 1.5 months post show, so I wanted to do a little video on how to train post show, what to do post show right before we start the growing phase. So here's today's video. So boys, once you've done with your prep, your body is extremely sensible to food. You're gonna feel like you're growing because carbohydrates rushing through the muscle and you're just gonna explode. You're gonna feel like Hercules for the next month. But what you can do and really utilize is going back and using a really good method, which is using the least to get the most. So it's pretty much going back here. So you're gonna drop your numbers of sets, etc., because your body's gonna be extremely sensible to food. So you're gonna be growing like a weed. Say you just start post-competition, going back in the gym, doing quadruple sets, super sets, multi-quadruple sets over the gym, taking the whole gym for yourself because you're feeling like you're growing. Well, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna hit a plateau extremely soon because you're utilizing every tool in your arsenal now. So now you're pretty much fucked. This is gonna be your new baseline. So a technique that I really like to do is going back to the drawing board, go back to 1 or 2 working sets, and trust me, if you utilize your workout well, you're gonna be growing. Your body was not consuming enough carbohydrates for a couple months, and now you're bringing back food into the muscles so you can grow by using the least amount of sets. And then you can increase slowly, and that's really how you grow after a show. So right now what we're doing 1 or 2 working sets maximum. We're doing 4 or 5 exercises maximum per workout, and we're really growing and recovering extremely well. Right now we're doing the cold bath, we're doing the like an enhanced red light therapy machine, massage, deep tissue massage, everything under the sun, just to make sure our recovery is really back before growing. And once we start growing, we're here and we can utilize supersets, drop sets, a triple set, etc., to grow even more. And then it's a cycle, boys. It's a pattern. You have to utilize a pattern. All right, boys, we're doing shoulders today, so it's our first natty workout video with you boys. So what we're gonna start with for shoulders is a rear delt exercise. I'm starting with rear delts because it's my most lacking body parts on my shoulders. I'm missing a ton of rear delt, so this is really gonna I'm utilizing my strength at the beginning of the workout because I have a lot of fuel and I'm ready to pump my rear delts. This reverse pec deck is technically not the best rear delt exercise because it uses a lot of traps, but my traps are also weak. So for me, this is the best exercise to do. But if you have big traps and small rear delts, I would utilize more movement just doing this motion. So taking a cable and just pulling it back, which we will do at the end of the workout. But if your traps are dominant, this is not the best exercise for you. For me, golden. Second exercise, I'm doing a lateral movement for this part of the workout. So I've tried a lot of different variation. I've tried one arm, I've tried dumbbells, I've tried a lot of different lateral variation. There's some shoulder, there's some machines that you just put the weights here and you just go in this motion. I don't like it. Really, my main one for lateral movements that I find that I actually love is the one I've been using for a long time. So what I've changed with my form is instead of really going exactly parallel to my body, I'm stepping back just a little bit and I'm going a tiny bit forward. I got that from my friend Bavi and he has incredible delts, so I'm like, there's something that we have to try with this form. So you keep your arm extremely straight, and what I used to do was going here. Now what I'm doing is bringing them a tiny bit more forward. So what we're gonna do is just 2 working sets of this bad boy, and that's it. No drop set, no super set, no nothing. Just 2 good, juicy sets. Understanding the form, so once we start the growth season, I'm gonna be locked in for some growth. All right, boys, third exercise. Now we're doing a bit of front delt. I had my video critique about my physique on stage from a judge, and the #1 thing he told me for my physique is front delts. He said my back was unbelievable. He said it was probably the best back he's ever seen on earth. So I was like, Stop it, no, I'm just kidding. He said we got work to do there as well. But for shoulders, he told me the front delts is really the delt that I have to be working a lot more, especially when I do the front shot. Well, of course, it's the separation between the chest and the front delt. This is what we need to work on. So what we're gonna do is cable front raise. Exercise number 4, we're doing a compound movement and we're doing some shoulder press. I really love the machine right now because every time I use a dumbbell, it doesn't feel right, my natty strength right now. Something is clicking in my shoulder. I'm having a little bit of rotator cuff problem, so I've added a rotator cuff routine in my morning routine just because my shoulder feel a little stiff. That's probably because of the junk food that I ate after my competition. The inflammation in my joints is just not on the same level as eating clean food. So now we're doing a compound movement. You can usually start with a compound movement, but for me personally, I like having my shoulder warm up. So lateral movements, rear, front, and then doing a compound so I can really feel the muscle a lot more and I don't have to use an excessive amount of weight that I could hurt myself, if that makes any sense. Also, something that I've changed a lot into my shoulder workouts. Shoulders are technically on paper the muscle that I least prefer to train, and that's because of one reason. Every time I'm like close from failure, I just start doing some half reps type of shit. If you know what I'm saying, you're like 9 and then you just do some of this at the end. I don't know, there's something about it that it was like into my subconscious. So now what I'm starting to do after a show, lower the weight. So what I've started to do now is just complete my reps. So at the end, I'm like in 12 and then I'm dead. So that's what I started to do. And now I'm really enjoying training my shoulders. It feels like I'm training chest or any other muscle group. So now my shoulders will start to grow and I will start to have the 3D effect. All right, boys, we're gonna end shoulders with a little bit of face pulls. The most important part of doing face pull is that it's gonna do your traps, which I need, and it's gonna do your delts, which I need, and it's gonna work a little bit of your rotator cuff, which I need. Because right now my right shoulder, I will be honest with you guys, there's something going on. There's something, it's not 100%. The left shoulder feels amazing, feels like flowers, but the right shoulder just doesn't feel right. So I'm gonna do some face pull. I will probably start with face pull after this workout, just because to do a face pull, you're warming up your shoulder blades, warming up your rotator cuff, warming up your delts, etc. It's a beautiful exercise. So what you wanna do, if you're like me and you need a lot of traps, you can start in this position and just stay in this range of motion. Just do it like that. If you want to do it as a starter, you can give yourself a bigger range of motion and really rotate your shoulder blades as you go in with the rep. So there's a lot of ways to do it. It depends what you're trying to do. But what I'm doing, the way that I'm doing it is mostly for my traps and rear delts. Let's go. It's been a while since the competition, so I've been adding a little bit of volume here and there. So I've added this beautiful exercise for my rear delts. Personally, the best rear delt exercise. 1, because it's super easy to do, and 2, because it's the exact movement that the rear delts needs to do to grow. So it's really important if you have smaller rear delts, this is the one to do it. And I like doing it at the end of my workout, just to make sure I start with my rear delts and I end with my rear delts. Alright, boys, that's it for the shoulder workout for today. As you can see, not a lot of volume, not a lot of exercise, just intensity, just making sure my body is really connecting to the exercise. So if you're done with a prep or you're just going back in the gym, focus on form. Just go back to the drawing board, just lower the weight, really focus on form, focus on making sure that every movement is perfect, and you grow from there. That's how I grew my back. I dropped all the weights, focused on form, and I really started back to square one and grew from there. So once you're in the gym and you start adding a lot of weight, ego comes in mind. You start taking a left turn and the form's kind of fucked up and you're not growing properly, and that's how you hit a plateau. Just take a step back, drop the weight, perfect your form, and once you perfect your form, you'll grow in the right direction. So that's really what we're doing right now. This is the natty season for me. So right now, it's not about adding muscle mass, it's really about connecting to the exercise. And once we're going back onto the gain train, I'm gonna be growing. I'm gonna be on the highway at 250 without even looking at the road, just straight on. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one.